I've always really liked walking the tightrope. I mean, it's always been a fascination of mine how somebody could keep that balance for that long. And I don't know, I just saw the opportunity here, and I wanted to see if I could do it, and I tried, and I did it. My name's Jade Kindar-Martin, and I'm from Montpelier, Vermont.
Jade's real unique in the sense that he has not only excellent balance, but real good coordination. And he's taken to the rope like a fish to water. I've never seen anybody as quickly absorb so many different elements of tightrope walking so successfully. He's got a good future if he's not afraid of heights.
It's very possible I might pursue it, go to the 10 feet and then a 30-foot rope, and maybe try to go into a circus walking the tightrope. But that's a long-off fantasy.
I'm Jade Kindar-Martin, and I'm a high wire walker. I'm in the Guinness Book of World Records. I walk between buildings, I walk over gorges. With high wire, it was love at first sight. I stepped up on that wire for the first time and walked across immediately. I started reading more about it, learning about the history. High wire is as old as juggling, and it's back through Grecian times.
Jade and myself, we met about 7 years ago while working in a big circus, him as a high wire and me as an acrobat. It's a high wire tradition to get married on a high wire, so...
We got married 30 feet in the air, her in her gown and me in the tux. Normally, Karine and I work together as a team, but...
I just found out I'm pregnant, so obviously I'm not going to perform today. I feel very proud when I see him perform. Sometimes it makes me cry. It's very emotional when you see somebody being up there and risking his life.
I walk on the high wire to inspire people and to show them that anything is possible.
Whoa, it takes somebody special to do what they do, and there's somebody special in Jade Kindar-Martin. During a recent visit home to Vermont and a quick peek atop Nectar's, Fran Stoddard brought Jade back down to earth for a safe interview in the Vermont Public Television studios.
You were a 14-year-old kid from Montpelier when you went to Circus Smirkus 10 years ago. And there, Stuart Lippy recognized your considerable talent on the high wire. You went to Montreal to circus school. Mm-hmm. You were there for about a year, but then you moved to France. What was that all about?
I went to Montreal to be a wire walker. So I didn't know there was such a distinction at the time between wire and high wire. But when I got there, I found myself in a situation where I was working very low in very short distances, and it was not at all what I wanted to do. Every week I'd come with a new plan of how I could set up a wire between, you know, this stairwell and that place, or, you know, over this place, or so. They were pretty happy to get me off their hands.
Just last year, you broke the Guinness Book of World Records by crossing the Thames with your performing partner, Didier Pasquet. Mm-hmm. What's the difference between having two people do an amazing walk like that and one?
With two people, what will happen is that it'll start to oscillate, and your rhythm and his rhythm will start to hit in the center and send reverberations back and forth, which could possibly make the wire move in a direction that you're not anticipating at that moment.
Wow. So you started from opposite ends of the river.
Yep.
You joined at the middle, and then...
Yeah. I don't know if it was really in the middle, but...
Well...
we got to the center, we were like, great to see you!
What was that moment like?
Well, it was pretty amazing. We were first going to have earphones, but they both didn't work, and we were both trying to speak to each other from different sides. And finally somebody said, he's already gone, and I threw the mic down. I said, all right, I'm going. And so actually we did meet pretty much in the middle, though, yeah.
Then you had to step over him. Was that the most dangerous part of this walk?
I'd really love to say that it was. The whole walk was an equally dangerous thing from the beginning to the end. Mm. There's always times in a walk where you miss a foot a little bit or the wire just doesn't hit right, and I think those are the times the most dangerous, because actually when you're walking, just walking, you tend to kind of space out, or I do at least. I get carried away with the view and being in that atmosphere.
Now, earlier this month, you made a clandestine walk between the towers of Saint-Sulpice in Paris, France, these tall towers that overlook the whole city. You came up with this idea, I guess just had to do it. How did this happen?
Well, it basically was just, it was a dream. About 5 years ago, I saw this church from Notre Dame. I was with my mother in Paris, and I saw this church, and I said to her, that church there, that's when I'm going to walk across. I started at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I went till 8 o'clock, and at 8 o'clock in the morning, as the sun was rising on Paris, I was sitting on my wire between two towers, 200 feet in the air.
Wow. Now, on any of these walks, the fall would kill you, and you don't use safety wires, and you don't use nets. How do you know what your limit is? How do you know when the conditions aren't right and maybe you shouldn't do this?
You have to just listen to yourself, you know, listen to yourself, listen to your heart, listen to your head. I don't want to kill myself.
Why do you do this?
Just for the pure enjoyment.
What's next?
What's next? Walk on the wire for a long time and do what I love to do. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.